Hey guys, and welcome back to another chapter of the series Melting, written and narrated by Stacey Holt. Once again, let me shout out the artwork in the thumbnail and video, Kicksledge, for allowing me to use their artwork. You can find the links to her artwork as well as the music in the video in the description box below. If you'd like to support the series, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. If you would also like to take a look at my Etsy shop, I'll also leave that in the link as well. Now, Chapter 11, Pain. "Hey girl, good morning," Alia yelled over to Marinette, who was walking in the classroom. Marinette walked up to Alia and gave a soft forced smile once again and sat down. Alia tried talking to her, but Marinette's mind was spinning. Cat Noir knew she was Ladybug. How did he find out? Was she too careless? Did she give a hint or was too obvious around him? Should she give up her Miraculous? Cat left after telling her that he knew. He was going to keep talking, but Marinette was too flustered to hear anything else that came from out of his mouth. She made him leave. He was going to tell her who he was, but she didn't want to know. She couldn't know. If she knew who he was, then everything would change. She didn't want to give up her Miraculous or not being able to see Tiki anymore. She wouldn't have her partner anymore because he wouldn't be her partner. He would be a random civilian who meddled too much and couldn't leave anything alone. She knew he was curious, but never imagined breaking her trust and going behind her back to figure out her secret identity. She felt bad about making Cat leave, but it was the only solution. The last words she spoke to him shook her thoughts throughout class. "Never come back here. I don't ever want to know who you are. You lied to me. I trusted you." Her words echoed through her mind. She felt awful about saying those things and wanted to apologize, yet she wanted it to remain as well. She wanted him to know that she was hurt, but she also wanted to forgive him. The day was long and dreadful for Marinette. The soft eye candy in front of her didn't show up to class that day, and she wondered why. Nino texted Adrien, but he wouldn't reply. Strange. He had been ghosting not only her, but Nino as well? Maybe she took her anger out on Cat about what happened with her and Adrien. Nevertheless, she needed to apologize for making him leave, and the awful yet truthful things she said. She shouldn't have raised her voice, but first, she needed to check on Adrien. She hadn't seen him in a couple of days, and now, he wasn't showing up to school. That was bad news. After school, Marinette transformed and entered into the guest house through one of Adrien's windows. She looked around and the room was more messy than she last remembered. She couldn't see him anywhere, but she knew he was home. The bedroom door was locked from the inside and his cell phone was playing piano music on top of the piano. She looked toward his bed and saw a bundled up pile of blankets on top. "Adrien?" she called out. She walked over to the bed and found Adrien asleep inside of the blankets. The bags under his eyes looked puffy, as if he had been crying. Ladybug sat beside him and brushed his hair out of his face with a soft smile. "I knew you wouldn't stand me up for no reason." "What happened to you?" she whispered as she brushed his hair back. His eyes slowly opened to see Ladybug, and she jumped backwards. "Ladybug? What are you doing here?" Adrien said, his voice hoarse. I was doing patrol, and this girl with pigtails called me over and asked me to check on you. I was checking to see if you had a fever and needed to go to the hospital," Ladybug said, flustered. Adrien sat up, and instead of his usual smile, he turned away from her. This wasn't how he normally acted. Something was extremely wrong. Ladybug walked over to Adrien and sat beside him, his face still turned slightly away from hers. "Adrien, is there something wrong?" "A lot," he said simply. "Do you want to talk?" "Why? You don't know anything about me. How could you possibly understand what I'm going through?" Adrien turned and looked her in the eyes. I want to understand, but..." "You won't understand. Not as long as I'm Adrien." He stood up and walked to the window, peering out at the sunlit sky. He saw in the reflection of the window that Ladybug was confused and didn't understand. He knew that she wouldn't. Why wouldn't he just tell her what was wrong? She stood up and walked toward him. "Adrien, I know you have been through a lot. I have, too, if you can believe it. Trust was stolen from me, and I said some things that weren't kind. I was going to go apologize to that person and actually talk to them after seeing if you were all right. I want you to be all right, so just please talk to me." She touched his sleeve and he turned toward her. "I think you should go. Go talk to that person. and then tomorrow, see if I'm alright. I just need time," Adrian said, sighing. Ladybug looked at him and nodded slowly. She took out her yo-yo and then left without another word. Plag flew over and landed on his shoulder, wondering what he was going to do next. "Should I go talk to her?" Adrian asked. Plag shrugged. Ladybug landed on a rooftop where Cat had set a nice dinner for her at one point, and sat down. She watched as the sun was slowly setting, patiently waiting. She knew he knew, because a few reporters, as well as Alia, posted seeing her there. Would he come? Did she hurt her partner too much to talk it out? Did she have the heart to forgive him? It hurt thinking about him knowing her secret, but it hurt more that she didn't know how long he knew. Thank you all for watching. The next chapter will be available soon. Hit the notification button to let you know when it's available, and I'll see you all in the next chapter. Also, I wanted to apologize. I don't know if you can actually hear, but I woke up with a really scratchy sore throat, so just bear with me. I'll try and keep them coming as best as I can, and I'm going to push through it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!